Happy Festivus. Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Heather and as always I'm reading with a vengeance and I hope you are as well. If you're an OG watcher, thank you so much for coming back. If you're new to my channel, a very warm welcome to you. I hope everybody is doing very well. Today I'm going to talk about some of my favorite things in hopes that I can give you guys some recommendations for gift giving this year. Now, I hadn't really considered doing a gift recommendation video until one of my viewers, I believe it was Sweet Liz. Hi, Elizabeth. I think she had asked if I was going to be doing a video, and it just kind of put the thought into my head. So I thought, why not? I will share some of the things that I absolutely love when it comes to bookish gifts. Now, as this is a Booktube channel, all of these items, all of these recommendations are going to be related to books, reading, everything bookish. They are going to be things that I love. Either I have received them as gifts in the past, I have bought them for myself, I have put them on a wish list for things that I want, or that I've given them as gifts to people who love all things bookish as well. Now, you would think that buying a gift for somebody who loves to read, who loves books, would be straightforward and simple, right? Just Jake patrolling the house. Yeah, you would think it's straightforward. You would just go to your local bookstore and either pick the latest bestseller or pick a popular book or just get a gift certificate, right? Well, you can do those things, and that's very simple. I think gift certificates are great gifts for, say, a coworker or somebody who is really, really difficult to buy because they have everything or they buy everything for themselves as soon as they want it. But if you're looking to get something that's unique that perhaps they haven't thought about or perhaps they aren't aware of, or you're just that type of gift giver, you don't want to give a gift just for the sake of giving, which I am fully behind. So that's why I've kind of compiled this list. These are just ideas to perhaps some of these things that I talk about might put another idea in your head, and that's what I'm really hoping for. But some of these things that I've come up with that I've found along the way, I think they're pretty special. So yeah, book lovers, buying a gift for book lovers. Buying a book for a book lover is kind of tricky. I mean, if you're a book lover, you know, because have they read it? Do they want to read it? Do they already have it but haven't read it yet? So as far as giving books as gifts, I think your best bet, unless they've asked for something specific, is perhaps a special edition of a book. Say they have a favorite. Like me, I love To Kill a Mockingbird. That's my favorite book of all time. I have a small collection of different editions. I like foreign language editions. I have the graphic novel. I have special like vintage classic. Of course, like Waterstones has really beautiful special editions. Barnes & Noble has special editions. And there's any number of online websites where you can find special editions of books. So if you can find out what their favorite book is, if you don't know already, then order a special edition of it. Here is an example of, I think a lot of people, especially on Booktube, in the science fiction genre, really love Dune. So I found this beautiful special edition. Actually, I'll put it over here. I just came across this and I think this is a really, really beautiful cover. It also has an introduction by Neil Gaiman. That's another thing you can look for. Look for favorite books that maybe aren't special editions, but they have a new introduction by, say, another favorite author of theirs. Here's an edition of Pride and Prejudice, and also very popular favorite book of many readers. There's tons of special editions of Pride and Prejudice out there. I thought this one was particularly beautiful. I think this is called the luxury hardback. I could be wrong, but stunning. Another really fun idea for special editions of books is if they love a specific series. There's a couple of series out there that have special editions where the spines make a photograph. An example is the Outlander series, which, as you can see here, makes this beautiful photograph. And I think Twilight also has a special edition of the series where the spines make an illustration. They're just beautiful, I think, beautiful additions to any library. So those are some of my ideas of if you are set on getting a book for a book lover as a gift. However, if you don't want to get a book as a gift, another way to go if you know their favorite book is to do something with that favorite book. For example, you can take that favorite book and use the cover and have jewelry made. There's tons of people on Etsy that do this, either into earrings or bracelets or a pendant on a necklace. I received a beautiful gift of these earrings here, which I will put in a video so that you can see a close-up. These are my To Kill a Mockingbird earrings that my good friend Selena had made. I absolutely love them. They're very delicate, they're very dainty, and I can take my favorite book basically wherever I go. Or you can take popular book covers and take a couple of book covers and make a, a charm bracelet. I'll pop in a picture of a charm bracelet that I found that I thought was absolutely adorable, and maybe take, I don't know, book covers from a series or just book covers from their favorite genre, or you can get super creative with this, but a charm bracelet I think is a really lovely gift. Something else you can do with their favorite book cover is make it into a pillow or put it on a tote bag or make it into wall art. You can just get a giant poster of their favorite book cover for something they can hang up in their home. And they come in many different sizes. You can get just like a 5x7 all up to a poster size. And I think they're just really, really lovely art for the wall. I've always coveted the big, giant posters that are inside Barnes & Noble of book covers. I don't know why I haven't asked, like, are those for sale? They're probably not. You could probably order them somewhere, but they're massive. Of course, in my current living situation, they wouldn't work. But someday, I would love to get a giant book cover wall hanging of To Kill a Mockingbird. I digress. Another really, really popular gift to give book lovers are bookmarks. Now, there are just a gajillion bookmarks out there, specifically the ones that are made of paper. I'm not a huge fan of paper bookmarks. I just think they get worn too easily. I know you can laminate them and all of that, but I just think they get worn too easily. And I don't know, no judgment on people who make bookmarks or like paper bookmarks, but I just feel like they're wasteful. So my recommendation is there are lots of homemade bookmarks that are made from either repurposed items or recycled items. Like here's a really beautiful bookmark made of repurposed glass that I think is stunning. They also have bookmarks made of wood that I think are really beautiful, and I'll pop up a picture here that I think are stunning, and I think they're just a little bit more personal as far as giving gifts, and I think they'll last longer, and I think they'll just be treasured a little bit more, taken care of a little bit more. We kind of beat up our paper bookmarks, I think. But my favorite bookmark that I have myself that my husband got me several years ago, it's made from a spoon, and it says "Fell asleep here." And maybe I'll pop in a little video of a close-up of it, that I think it's just gorgeous. It's an old spoon bent in half, so you clip on the pages, and this thing isn't going anywhere. So I absolutely love this one. I only have one. I don't know why, but it works well, it'll last forever, and it's beautiful. One item that I did come across just recently, and one day when I actually have a nightstand again, I might get one, is this beautiful nightstand bookmark kind of thing. It sits on your nightstand. It's like a book holder and a bookmark all in one, and a decoration. I think this thing is just beautiful. I think if I were to ever get one, I would just keep a book on it all the time, even one that I'm not reading at the time, because I think just this thing sitting on your nightstand with a book on it, with maybe a little plant next to it, is just a beautiful piece of decor. I think it's a really great gift for a book lover, especially for someone like me who the last thing I do before I turn the lights out is read a book. So how about if they have a home library? A lot of times when you have someone who actually has a home library, a room that is dedicated to their books and all things bookish, a lot of times they already have a bunch of stuff. They have the wall art, they have the pillow. So you kind of have to get creative with folks like that if you're buying gifts for them. Etsy's a really, really great place to just kind of scroll, just put in bookish gifts or unique gifts for readers, something like that, and you'll be able to find something. I have a friend who is extremely bookish, and she found, and I plan on getting one someday, she found like this wreath looking thing that was made from repurposed book pages, that something was put on the pages that makes them kind of stiffen, and I'm doing a horrible job describing this thing. I'll just pop up a picture. It's just gorgeous. That's really beautiful. But while they might have pillows in their library, you can get creative with how you make pillows. I found these beautiful, colorful, like library card pillows. I thought those are super cute, and you can get any number of colors or a combination of colors. If they have a color scheme in their library, I think it's really adorable. I recently discovered this wall art that is just beautiful that I absolutely intend on getting someday. And it's these 3 metal pieces. It's just metal art in the shape of a woman reading a book. Now, let me just take a moment here. I realize that a lot of these gifts are geared towards women, and I apologize for that. I mean, I know that there are lots and lots of male readers out there, but I don't know. I don't feel, and I could be wrong about this, but I don't feel like men, the readers that are men, are into like the bookish tchotchkes as much as we are. So who knows? Or there are a couple of gifts coming up in the video that I think you could get a man, but I apologize if you were looking for a gift for a man because there isn't a whole lot here. But anyways, this wall art, stunning, right? Also, perhaps they don't have a favorite book, but they have a favorite author. I found this beautiful poster that had a bunch of different works from that same author, a bunch of different book covers from that same author. Here's one by Virginia Woolf that I thought was absolutely stunning. I think that's a great idea. If you don't want to get too specific on a book, just find out their favorite author and then put something together with that. Or if you just want to keep it generic and just find some beautiful art that has to do with books, I think that's good too. I found this beautiful poster on Etsy, I'm pretty sure, and it's just a library at night that I think looks super, super cozy. I think it comes in multiple sizes, but I think there's tons and tons of art that you can find, and you can just kind of scroll through, and perhaps you can find one that just speaks to you about the specific person that you're shopping for. That'll happen, but I thought this was gorgeous. And another gift that you can give somebody who has their own personal library or just tons and tons of books is have a personal stamp made for their books from the library of, or you can pretty much get super, super creative. There's lots of people out there that you can order custom stamps from, and you can add a graphic, have their initial put on there, or their name, or maybe even a quote from a favorite book, something like that. You can get super creative and get a stamp so that they can stamp each of their books in their library. So even for the folks that don't have an actual dedicated room for their books, if you have a book lover friend or family member that you're shopping for, guaranteed they do have somewhere in their home where they have a selection of books. Even in my tiny 300 square foot place, I have several areas where I have 5 or 6 books shelved somewhere. And so the perfect gift, I think, for any book lover are bookends. And you can get super creative with bookends as well. What I like to do is I like to combine interests. So you have a friend who loves to read, who loves books, but what else do they like to do? Do they like knitting like me? Find bookends that are balls of yarn. Or are they into running or any kind of athletic activities? I found these that I thought were super, super cute, of these runners as bookends. Do they have a favorite animal? Like me, my favorite animal is elephants. And so I found these beautiful elephant bookends. And I have elephant bookends. They're in storage right now, but I thought these were adorable. And even if they don't have another interest besides reading and books, there'll be something about their personality that you can probably find in a bookend that relates to that characteristic of your friend. Say they wear glasses. Say they cut hair for a living. Say they love to drink coffee. Speaking of drinking coffee, many, many, many book lovers are either coffee or tea lovers. Now, these I just found recently that I think are absolutely adorable, but I found these Bookish tea tins that I just think are so clever. Here we have the picture of Earl Grey. I love a good pun. I just do. We have Pico Pan. I think they're absolutely adorable. And even if they don't drink tea and they prefer coffee, like myself, you can store your coffee. You have to store coffee grounds in a safe, sealed place too. So I think these would work for that too. But I thought these were just absolutely adorable. What I like to do is I like to get, say, a fancy tea or a fancy coffee and get a bag or a tin of that and add it to just kind of a side gift for the main gift for coffee lovers or tea drinkers. Most of the time I buy my coffee from the store, but every once in a while I like to treat myself to fancy flavored coffee, and the places that I get my coffee are Bones. Not only do they have absolutely adorable packaging, but their flavors are just delicious, and they have really fun names for them too. Of course, that helps, but they have different flavors like salted caramel, and they have like seasonal flavors like peppermint mocha. And so Bones Coffee, I think, is a really, really great gift. David's Tea is a really great tea company, and they have wonderful, wonderful flavors. They have some flavors that only come out at Christmas time. Like, I think a favorite is Santa's Secret, which is delicious. It is so good. They also have coffee mugs and other like tea accessories that I think are super fun. I have in other videos, I've used a coffee mug that has like llamas on it. That is absolutely adorable. It's the aqua cover thing, and it changes colors when you add hot water to it. And it has one of those tea, I forget what you call them, but it's, you put loose leaf tea in it and it sticks in. It's got a llama head on the top. It's adorable. Maybe I'll pop in a video of it. It's absolutely adorable. It's like my favorite mug, which is why it made the cut to come into the fifth wheel with us. Anyways, those are really, really great gifts for tea and coffee lovers who are more than likely readers. Okay, I saved this next bit for last because I think a lot of folks come here for the book content or my sparkling personality. No. But anyways, I decided to add some actual book recommendations that aren't necessarily popular books or books in everybody's library, but I think they are books that any book lover would find interesting or a great gift. This first one is Ex Libris by Anne Fadiman, and I'll just read from my notes what this is. This is a collection of 18 essays that were originally published in the Common Reader column of Civilization magazine. The book explores readers' relationship with their books. In one essay, she writes about how people love their books in two major ways: courtly love, where the reader considers the physical state of a book sacrosanct and turns each page carefully when reading. And then there's carnal love, where one reads a book again and again, even tearing up the pages, making notes in the margin, and damaging the covers in the process. In another essay, she tells you what to do when you are at a secondhand bookshop and find a book that you had inscribed and given to someone. And the essays in this book are an absolute delight for anyone who admires books and loves reading. The next one I'll talk about that I think would make a really, really fun gift is The Man Who Loved Books Too Much: The True Story of a Thief, a Detective, and a World of Literary Obsession. This is a nonfiction by Alison Hoover Bartlett. While most thieves steal for profit, John Charles Gilkey steals out of sheer love of books. I can get behind that. He has stolen rare books worth hundreds of thousands of dollars from libraries, bookstores, and book fairs. He finds a worthy opponent in Ken Sanders, a book dealer who is obsessed with catching him. Alison Hoover Bartlett tells his amazing cat and mouse tale that explores the world of book lust. It reveals how Gilkey pulled off his tricks and where he kept his looted treasure. We also see how Sanders, while on his mission to catch Gilkey, finds himself falling in love with books and is tempted to steal them. Bartlett examines how cravings for certain books can put one on a path where they will stop at nothing until they acquire that book. We can all relate to that. Next one I'll share for you, it's called How to Read a Book: The Classic Guide to Intelligent Reading by Mortimer J. Adler and Charles Van Doren. Now, as a reader, if I were to be given this gift, I'd be like, what are you trying to tell me? But I think it is a tongue-in-cheek gift that I think any book lover can appreciate. It's originally published in 1940, and it's become quite a phenomenon and one of the best guides about reading for the general reader. The book talks about various reading levels and how to achieve them. It tells you how you can transform yourself into a speed reader from an elementary reader through systematic skimming and inspection. The book teaches you how to x-ray a book and extract what the author meant to say. It also covers different methods for reading plays, poetry, fiction, history, philosophy, and many others. The book consists of recommended reading lists and tests which you can use to determine your reading speed and comprehension. I can totally appreciate that. I would probably get that book for myself. And of course, what list would be complete on Reading with a Vengeance Booktube channel without a book from Stephen King? He has got a memoir called On Writing, which I read many, many years ago and I absolutely loved. I think any book lover has like this fantasy of becoming a writer. Wouldn't that be fantastic if we had the talents that some of these authors, well, that anybody who has put together a story and had published, but to have that talent to write. I'm totally digressing again. Even though I don't really have realistic aspirations to become a writer, I really appreciate this memoir on Stephen King's process, how he became a writer, the things that inspired him as a kid, the people that inspired him as a kid. And he wrote this right after he was in his terrible accident where he almost died. It's kind of a reflection through the lens of recovery. And it's just beautiful. I absolutely love it. If you have a Stephen King fan who you're buying a gift for and they haven't read this yet, this is absolutely a great gift. Next one I'll recommend is The Art of Reading by Damon Young. This is also a nonfiction. Damon Young is a philosopher and he's from Australia. And as you know, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know I have kind of a thing for Australians and Australian literature and writers and books. So The Art of Reading is a witty and funny exploration of how a person becomes a reader, exploring everything from Simone de Beauvoir and Sartre's cafe conversations to Virginia Woolf's diaries. Young seeks to answer to what makes a person a lifelong reader, with each chapter dedicated to a specific virtue he believes all readers possess. This book is a beautiful ode to book culture everywhere. I think this cover is absolutely adorable as well. Another recommendation is The Book, a cover-to-cover exploration of the most powerful object of our time. This is another nonfiction by Keith Houston. This is an in-depth microhistory into one of the most essential objects created by humanity, the book. From the ink, paper, and glue that make a book, Houston explores the evolution of the book as a medium and how it mirrors and informs the speed of ideas, news, and information across the world. With over 2,000 years of history, the book will take you all the way from cuneiform tablets to the digital age. This next one is Around the World in 80 Novels, a global journey inspired by writers from every continent, which I am absolutely intrigued by. I love to travel, and of course, I love to read books that come from different parts of the world. This is by Henry Russell, also nonfiction. It says, whether you're a regular globetrotter or an armchair traveler, these 80 works conjure up the spirit of place for locations on every continent. Sometimes the setting of a novel is as important as the story. Where would Dickens be without London, or Edith Wharton without New York? Who can read tales of the city and not want to visit San Francisco, or enjoy Alexander McCall Smith's #1 ladies detective agency and not wonder whether perhaps Botswana should be on your bucket list? Covering every corner of the world from North and South America to Europe, the Far East, Australia, Africa, and more, there are classics by famous authors alongside works by new writers. I really, really love books that recommend other books. So I think this is really, really great, especially for the book lover who loves to travel. This next one is absolutely on my Christmas list. I found this just by accident, and I think it looks like an absolute hoot. As a booktuber, and for you as a Booktube watcher, you'll see why this really, really sparks my interest. This is the Ultimate Reading Challenge. Complete a goal, open an envelope, and reveal your bookish prize. This is by Weldon Owen Publishing. It says, level up your reading life with 25 unique literary challenges and reward yourself with 25 bookish surprises. This delightful collection of 25 reading challenges and rewards inspires bookworms to live their best reading life. Each pocket inside this portfolio challenges readers to a literary challenge. Once the reader completes a challenge, they can open the pocket to claim their bookish prize. This looks like so much fun, and actually I might, if I don't get it for Christmas, I might just get it for myself and maybe add it to kind of like a video idea for next year to do some reading challenges of my own. What do you guys think? This looks like so much fun. Husband, if you are watching, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, elbow, elbow, wink, wink. And this next thing I want to talk about is not a book, but it is a website, which I will put down here at the bottom, and it's called A Year of Readingtheworld.com. And this is a blogger who has this list, which this website will take you to, of a book from every country in the world, at least every UN country, every UN recognized country. There's a lot. And so they're books that will either have an author from that country, and or the book takes place in that country. And I think that's an absolute wonderful idea. So what you do is you find out, say maybe a country that your reader maybe has on their bucket list to travel to, go to this list, find a book, bada bing, you have your gift. But I think it's a really, really fun list to just kind of have in your back pocket as a reader. If you have an interest in a specific country, just go to this list. And finally, the last idea I think for a book lover that will be unique because they change from month to month is a book subscription box. I think that's an absolutely wonderful gift idea. I've gotten one for myself. I've gotten one as a gift, and I've given one as a gift, and there's so many. There are so many. I'll just talk about a few here. But one thing I will say, and I'm not sure if every book subscription offers this, but you can just get 1 month. So you can just buy, where is my production assistant? You can just buy 1 month as a one-off deal, or you can buy a 3-month subscription, so it's the gift that keeps on giving. You can get, I think, any length of time. Of course, there's the very, very popular Book of the Month subscription that I think is a lovely gift for any reader. We hear about it all the time on Booktube. They are sponsors for many, many channels. And I was given that as a birthday gift 1 year from a very good friend, and I got like a 6-month subscription. So super, super fun. One that I got for myself when I just was interested to see what are all these subscription book boxes about, I got one called Authentic, and it was a really, really great box. The book that I got was The Lost Apothecary. The items that came in there was like a tin of tea. I think I got a little card with a link to a playlist for music that had kind of the vibes of the book. And there were a couple, I think there was a candle in there as well that I still have. It was a lovely box. If you have a particular reader that you are buying a gift for that let's say they love YA, there's a book subscription box called Once Upon a Book Club. From what I'm reading here, I'm looking at my notes here, it has a new release YA novel and individually wrapped gifts with page numbers on them. The gifts are not to be unwrapped until the reader reaches that page in the novel for a surprise that coincides with the book. I think that's a super, super fun idea. Let's say you have the romance reader. There is a book subscription box called a Reveal Book Box that also has like some swag in there, along with, I think, signed copies of romance books. Super, super fun. There's a subscription box for every kind of reader out there. You just kind of got to look up, put in the right words in your search and you'll be able to find them. Say for coffee lovers, there's one called, I believe, Caffeine and Legends. And I might be ordering one for myself, but I think just for any kind of reader, you can find a subscription box for anybody. The very last thing I'll mention is a couple of websites that I am fond of because of their mission statement. I have a couple of websites that are like fair trade type. They're women from poor countries who that's how they make their living. And so I just wanted to share those websites for you. They have really, really unique products that they sell. They are products in the making, helps a community, or they are repurposed products that help the world, the earth that we live on. So I just encourage you to check out those websites. There's one called Uncommon Goods. There's one called The Little Market. There's a website called Done Good, and one called Society B. I will link those websites along with as many of the websites for the items that I've mentioned in this video down below as I can. If there's one missing, just feel free to, shoot me an email or comment if you're looking for something specific, or if you have any questions regarding any of the things that I talked about in this video, please feel free to ask. I'd be happy to answer them. I hope you all found something good here from this video, or if it maybe sparked your imagination and gave you an idea for the perfect gift for the book lover in your life. What fun, creative, unique gift are you excited to give this year? Or what are you asking for? What's on your Christmas list this year? Besides world peace, of course. If you're still watching at this point, please consider giving that like button a boop, and a subscribe would be wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed doing this video, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.